This video will show you how to fill out the specification sheet for your CO2 dragster. So here is the specification sheet for the dragster. You'll see that it has several items, and it gives you a minimum and a maximum, along with a drawing down here with which to reference. We're going to be doing a pencil car, which I have drawn, and that's what we're going to be doing the specification sheet for today. So let's start right here at the top. Axle hole, and in parentheses it tells you what you're measuring. Position from either end, measurement A. And when you go down here to your drawing, you'll see measurement A right here from the front of the car to the axle, and back here from the rear of the car to the axle. And you could measure that in the front view as well. So we're measuring in millimeters. So I'm going to measure from the front of the car right here to the front axle. And when I look at that, there's 10, 20, 21 millimeters. So I take my form and for the front one I put 21 millimeters. Now I measure from the back. From the back I'm going to go and I'm going to measure from the axle to the back of the car. And it looks to me about 34 millimeters. So I place that right here. So both of these numbers fall between 9 and 100. So that means that is a go. Now, something that's important. This is the minimum. So really what it means is that these numbers have to fall between, have to be greater than or equal to and greater than 9, and less than or equal to 100. They can be 100, they could be 9, but they can't be less. So the next one is dragster body. Length, measurement B. We look at that, B is down here, it is the full length of the car. So I'm going to go and measure the full length of the car. And that's 205 millimeters. So I put 205. That's greater than 200, less than 205 or 305. So that is a go. The next one is dragster body, height at rear with wheels. We need to look at this because you'll look and you'll see on your drawing there are no wheels. If you look at mine, there are no wheels, just the axle locations. So what we need to do is we need to measure from the axle to the highest point on the car. That will give us measurement X. And we have a formula down here that says C, which is what we want. C equals X plus 20, 20 being the radius of the tire. So we're going to measure from the center of the axle to the highest point on the car. And when we do that, it looks like we are 40 millimeters. So I would put 40, but it's not 40. 40 millimeters is X. 40 millimeters is this measurement. We want C. To find that, C equals X plus 20. We said X was 40 millimeters. We add 20 to that, and that makes C 60 millimeters. That is between 56 and 75. That is a go. Now, if you find something that is a no-go, then that's something that has to be changed. If that came in at 55 millimeters, then we would have to change our drawing to move that up. Maybe what we would do is we would simply put a spoiler on the back to gain that height. The next one is dragster body, mass with wheels. We have no way of doing this at this point, so we mark that as an NA for not applicable. We can't do the weight at this time. Following that, we have dragster body, width at axles, front and rear, measurement D. Measurement D is where the axle goes through the body in the front and the rear. So for that, I'm going to have to look at my top view, and I'm going to measure where the axle goes through. And this one measures 42 millimeters, and this one measures 42 millimeters. So we put that down here. 42. Remember, the maximum is 42. It can be less than or equal to 42. And that's what we have. So that is a go. The next one is the power plant housing thickness, and that is around entire housing. There is no maximum, but there is a minimum of 3 millimeters. Where we measure that is 4 places: here, 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 and here. And what we do is we look to make sure that it is at least 3 millimeters. So this one is 5. This one is, here to here is 5. This one is 5. And this one is 6. So what I'm going to put there is the minimum I measured was 5 millimeters. And I'm going to put a 5 plus, meaning everything there was 5 millimeters or greater. That makes that a go. Next one is the wheelbase, measurement E. Right here, axle to axle is the wheelbase. So we're going to measure that right here on our top view again. And that measures 150 millimeters. 150, so that is between 105 and 270. That is a go. The next one is bottom of axle above bottom of the car. So we measure from here to the axle, and that is 6 millimeters. If you put your wheel on the first line where you should be putting it, then that will be 6 millimeters. And that is a go. The last one is screw eyes, distance apart. That is not on your drawing. We put that on when we assemble the final car. So that one, again, is NA. Not applicable at this point. We'll have to check that when we build the actual car. Once you have finished your specification sheet, that along with your drawing means you are ready to begin building your car.